Harley, to me, should never change. She should never evolve. The way she starts out a movie, she should go like this and then end kind of in the same place. I think I kind of love characters like that. Who you're like, you've been through all this. How have you not learned anything yet? She's like that.
You went into DC world. Presumably when you do that, you go away, you don't go away with kind of shaking hands because you've got a, trauma, but you go away with bashes and bruises after your experience as the wonderful Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Yeah, Harley's just so much fun to play, but yeah, she really takes it out of you. Yeah, she's also one of those characters that's I find more difficult to shake at the end of a job. Like, I feel like I'm a bit of a sticks around for a couple of months. I'm like, stop it. I'm
real duck.
Yeah, like I can hear myself like say something kind of a bit hard, and I'm like, oh God, I'm doing it. That's weird.
How did you do that? How much time do you spend on those stunts? How much training do you do? You started in prep sort of thing, so I'd say there was a couple of months of training. But Ingrid and that team did the first Suicide Squad film, and their approach, Guy Norris, well-known Aussie stunt coordinator, and his whole team of predominantly Aussies, their approach is to get you to be able to do as many of your stunts as possible. So they work with you and they kind of design the stunt work so that it plays to your strengths and that you can be able to do as much as possible, which is wonderful because I love doing stunts. And so, you work at it a couple months, but because we'd already done a film together, they knew how much I could do, which was great. I don't know why they didn't let me do the run up the wall thing. Maybe they're just like, whatever, just let Ingrid do it, save time. But I love that whole sequence. It's so fun. Some of it we spent like 2 months, like that whole in the sequence with all the kicks in the jail cell sort of area. Something like the shooting, the first couple guys just did that on the day, and that like doing all this stuff around I learned that maybe the Saturday before we shot it, just for like 3 hours. So something like that, they're like, you got it, we know you got it. And I was like, wait, what do we? And they're like, I'm going to count to 16. It's going to sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On every one, that's a shot, and they're going to be there, and James wants you to look like the hands of a clock, sort of thing, was the idea behind it. So things like that we learned. They taught it to me very quickly, and then other things, maybe you spend like a couple months here and there, like you come in every couple of days and you just make it sound so easy.
It's so fun though. Like, it's so fun. I loved it. I love
So when you did the first Suicide Squad, did you know Harley? I mean, were you familiar with the character?
No. Once I heard about the prospect of the film coming together, and I started looking into Harley Quinn as a character then, and I started reading the comics and totally fell in love with them, and but no, I hadn't heard of her before that.
And then as you progress through 3 movies,
yeah,
like what does that do to the character? Like, I mean, are you aware of her kind of moving and changing, and are you able to bring different things to each version?
Definitely, but I was only bringing different things based on what the director wanted, because it was 3 different directors.
Yeah.
That character, actually, Harley, to me, should never change. She should never evolve. The way she starts out a movie, she should go like this and then end kind of in the same place. I think I kind of love characters like that, who you're like, you've been through all this, how have you not learned anything yet? She's like that. But different directors wanted different things, and different directors responded to different aspects of the character. And so I could play that up or play it down based on what they wanted. And then in doing so, got to explore totally different kind of sides of it. And she was, I'd say like it's pretty similar, but based on the director, like I said, different.
And the middle film you produced as well.
Yeah, Birds of Prey.
What were you able to bring into it that, changed the positioning of the character?
Well, it got to be R-rated, whereas the first Suicide Squad wasn't R-rated, and it was nice not to kind of have the shackles on Harley in that way, because she's never going to censor herself. So censoring yourself as Harley for a PG rating is it just feels a little inauthentic. And also I worked closely with the writer, who's a good friend of mine, and just kind of find like the rhythm of her dialogue and the things I loved about the comics, just bringing the things that I loved in the comics to the forefront a little bit more, and also just kind of having a bit of a girl gang in that movie was a fun aspect to the character.
When you're doing read-throughs, table reads and so forth for this kind of film, does it feel like a ridiculous way to make a living?
Oh, so many times I feel like it's a ridiculous way to make a living. Like, so many times you'll hear us, like, we'll like be on Babylon, for example, and someone will be like, okay, like the elephant shit part, and you're just like, oh, this is our job. Like, this is so, we're getting paid to do this. We're being so stupid. Yeah, it's ridiculous and wonderful.